everybody, my name is Kyla Janae Lacey.
My name is Ivan Gaskin, coming to you live from the setup. Speak up!
First, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors and the Everybodies Network.
For the people.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, because sharing is caring.
And with that, we are about to get into the thing that we all know that you came out tonight for. This heat, these poets, where you at? We still gifting?
We're gifting. Sponsors. Oh. But first, a word from our sponsors.
This week's episode of Speak Up is brought to you by Swiss Clothing. We all have something that we want people to see. No matter what profession, hobby, or lifestyle you choose, you possess a unique lens that captures the beauty of your journey. Your journey plays an intricate part of the world we see, and we want to see what you see. Don't forget to follow Swiss Clothing and go to SwissClothing.com.
Joan Lyric Leslie is the epitome of what it means to be more black girl than magic. Her work, A Journey Through Healing and Self-Love, has been described as a love letter to black women. Lyric is a Harlem, New York native, a performance poet, community organizer, and podcast host. She has been a member of 2 National Poetry Slam teams and is featured on Button Poetry, Right About Now, All Deaf Poetry, and Voyage ATL magazine. She is a 2019 Fellow of the Watering Hole Retreat, a Southern Fried Poetry Slam finalist, and a 2-time back-to-back Queen of the South Poetry Slam champion. Lyric has been performing for audiences in academic, corporate, and social spaces throughout the country since 2009. She currently tours the college market and slam poetry venues using her stories, poems, and comedy to empower youth and communities of color to share their truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Harlem's very own Lyric.
Imagine shattered glass over mahogany terrain. Imagine holding on to reality, too afraid to love in vain, afraid of committing actions that appear to be the same, expecting different outcomes when all that's different is his name. Imagine doing the insane. On purpose, imagine voluntary heartbreak, jumping into the ring just because you know the lyrics to all the random songs he sings. See, I imagine him only wanting lyric in the presence of shinier things. Imagine cocoa butter kisses, but over chocolate hands and thighs. See, I imagine disappearing heartbreak will come from staring in his eyes. Imagine my body reacting to his voice in choice of words, his writing, unconventional use of metaphors and verbs, his fighting, the power, the man, the norm. See, I'm writing him poems, sonnets, and songs. Imagine how it must feel to finally reap what you have sown. Imagine rushing through your to-do list because love is waiting on you at home. Imagine home and living. Imagine all of your heart you resist giving because you've never had to imagine the reverse. It's always had the confidence to introduce itself to you first, but I still dare you to imagine. Imagine powerful love. 2 fists in the air with 2 froze. Imagine balancing out highs and lows and meeting somewhere in the middle of the struggle, where you write the revolution with my heartbeat on your mind. Imagine praying, guessing, wishing if it would be real this time. Imagine walking, imagine talking like this love could very well be a crime because our sentiments of resistance just happen to sink and rhyme. Imagine basking in the ambiance of compatible idiosyncrasies and differences, where my short attention span meets your focus to complete each other's sentences. Imagine waking up to the sunlight, through which could only be our body's persistence through photosynthesis or God. Imagine God finding and merging 2 souls from red clay and concrete, from small town and city street. Imagine forgetting defeat, no recollection of failing. Imagine cheesing from ear to ear. Imagine cool breeze for smooth sailing. See, I imagine ours will be the type of love worth waiting for. I imagine he is the type of man I am still praying for. I imagine this is how it must feel when what you imagine becomes what you can actually call real.
Yes.
Chaos Itself is a poet and a voice actor from PG County, Maryland. He loves to explore new perspectives and to convey new insight to the audience. His writing is a reflection of his life and a window into his mind, as well as a voice for the experiences of the world around him. He has come all the way from D.C. here to Atlanta to show love and show out on this Speak Up stage. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chaos Itself.
Hey, yo, Eve, what's wrong with you? All you had to do is not eat the forbidden fruit. But that's something you probably always wanted to do, you just needed an excuse. Was you not paying attention when Adam told you what not to do? Or did you not trust him enough to believe what he told you was true? What, did you want more eating responsibilities? Did you want to be included in God and Adam's private discussions? Was you confused about the forbidden fruit instructions? That's why you thought you couldn't even touch it. See, that attention to detail weakness is exactly why leadership ain't for you. That and the fact that your Adam's weakness is why that serpent only came to you. Wow. You trusted that snake more than the man you was created for. So the forbidden tree was convinced you wanted wisdom more than the plans that God made for y'all. You took a bite of that fruit and ate it all, then persuaded Adam to eat the fruit and felicitated the fall. And when God called you out on your mistake, you blamed the snake. You tried to forsake Adam and that was whack. So you was made from his ribs. You was supposed to stay by his side, but you tried to front and never had Adam's back. See, you're the reason why your descendants are still living with a curse. You're the reason why they bleed once a month and it hurts when they get birth. You're the reason why, compared to men, they make 21% less money. You're the reason why they didn't even have the right to vote until 1920. To this day, they always try to change the man that they with, but they never do. They fight for equality, but was commanded to submit to their husbands, and that's all thanks to you. Your sin got us all kicked out of Eden, and now we're lost, and the wages of sin is death, and we all got to pay the cost, and it's your fault. But yo, Adam, let me talk to you. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, talk to Adam.
See, all you had to do was not eat the forbidden fruit. But that's something you probably always wanted to do. You just needed an excuse. Was you not paying attention when God told you what not to do? Or did you not love him enough to believe what he told you was true? Wow. See, God told you not to eat the fruit. And that's something I can't forget. When God gave you those specific instructions, Eve wasn't even created yet. See, it was your responsibility. You let everybody down. God told you to watch over everything, including Eve, so how can you let that serpent come around? And when you saw Eve come back again with that forbidden fruit in her hand, I know you had a feeling something changed, but it wasn't until you ate that fruit that y'all felt naked and ashamed. Wow. See, you could have let Eve die with her own sin. I mean, you got a rack of ribs. God could have made more women with all that. But you loved Eve more than you loved God, and now we can never go back. And when God called you out in your sin, you turned around and blamed Eve. I guess responsibility was more than you can take. It's sad that the first man ever created wasn't man enough to own up to his own mistakes. Wow. See, you was able to name every animal in the land and in the sea and in the sky. But if you was able to be obedient to God, your son Abel will still be alive. See, you're the reason why men like me are still living with a curse. You're the reason why 90% of my life I gotta work. You're the reason why there's rich, greedy people and still so much poverty. You're the reason why there's racism and social inequality. To this day, we try to speak logic to our women, but they never listen. But in turn, we failed to connect with them emotionally, and you put us in that position. Your sin got us all kicked out of Eden, and now we're lost. And the wages of sin is death, and we all got to pay the cost, and it's your fault. But the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ, so we good. Thank you.
Bertrand Boyd is a creative writer, poet, and actor from Miami, Florida. Though inspired to write as an adolescent, it wasn't until the age of 17 that he found his love for performance aspect of poetry and spoken word. After hearing a live performance from notable poet and soon-to-be mentor, Will, the Real One Bell, Boyd dove headfirst into the literary world. His inaugural stage performance came within that same year at the North Miami Literary Cafe, where he performed under the stage name, The Youngster. This Benedict College graduate is the founder and CEO of Scrap Paper Incorporated, an organization that teaches life and language skills through spoken word, poetry workshops to middle and high school students. Boyd has also made acting appearances in films such as Between the Ropes, Murder Gardens, and Queen and Slim, just to name a few. Without further ado, I would like to bring to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Bertrand E. Boyd III.
See, I've been at this so long. So long, I'm still coming up short. And when I think I'm giving my all, people will always ask for more. There are too many distractions, it's been hard to ignore. Sometimes I forget who I'm doing this for. See, sometimes I think I do this out of habit. I tried to kick it a few times, but the universe wasn't having it. Pull me back, we be magnet, I'm stuck on you. And there's nothing else in this world that I would rather do, so I'm here with you. I done sacrificed so much. Carved blood between college ruled blues, whittled my personal with distinct meaning. Even when words weren't enough, I stayed true to you. To prove your validity, even when your existence in my life extinguished relationships, I kept the flame lit. Choked on the smoke from the fire you set, and you wonder why I'm hot. Cause I got nothing to show for my burns. I kept an empty urn on my dresser so you wouldn't closet my remains, but you still left me hanging. And I still kept you clothed. They'll never know all the things that we've endured during our tenure together. It feels like I gave you too much gas too soon, and now I'm riding on fumes, and I don't know how much drive in me I have to continue as you sit upon a pedestal in which I placed you on, and which I built with palms, snarling at me as if I owe you some. You mistreat me as if I misused you. I've always been a mild-mannered blade of nigga, but I never cut you. Broke plans that were never mapped out, and I still can't crop you out of my memories, but you easily forget about me. When no one else would give you their ears, I was there. Your tune has always been my favorite melody. No one would dare turn you down as often as I spoke up for you, but then you treat me like I never mattered. For years, I splattered, spewed, spilled, spoke. You have become my native tongue and life's manuscript, but you still not speak my name. You treat me like a guest in a house we renewed together. See, all these other folks are aliens in our space, migrants on our province. Their involvement is limited. They're just committed to pretending that they'll be in it for the long run, but they not built for the distance. I could feel the distance building, the tensions gripping. You won't let me touch you like I used to. The feeling's missing. I'm falling out of passion for some moments that I used to look forward to. Now I'm just anxious for your departure. Never been so fanatical about your takeoff. You stand there naked and I'm still uninspired. No takeoff. Like too many folks done had their hands on you. I could still see the residue. Smeared sermons of your temple. You allow animals to prey on you. Gave them open access while putting me through procedures. See, your process is so unfair. The other side of right is where we went wrong. See, I've been at this so long. So long, I'm still coming up short. And when I think I'm giving my all, people will always ask for more. There are too many distractions. It's been hard to ignore. Sometimes I forget who I'm doing this for. You know I more than love you. Took you places that on the regular wouldn't accept you, but I'm not regular, so I made them respect you. Your dangers were always safer with me. You heard the Teflon on my tongue through text as a teen. You trusted me, made me think my future was promising, but you been broke that pattern. Can't build with too many wolves, but lately they've been howling for me, missing my moon. See, these suns think they're stars by trying to outshine you, but they efforts me to cloud their own skies. I never forgot why we started this. My starter kit, Crayolas in my passages. Before the savagery and master's piece, I come in peace, but you still draw your weapon, and you wonder why I don't trust the likes of you. See, I've been at this so long, I'm still coming up short. And when I think I'm giving my all, people will always ask for more. There are too many distractions. It's been hard to ignore. Sometimes I forget who I'm doing this for. So to just put it all on the table, I had to build the nerve, figure out the perfect words to exert my hurt. See, the pain been sitting at the edge of all my fingertips, and I don't always say what I think, so I bite my lips. I just hold my tongue so my thoughts won't slip right out my mouth. I'm from out the south, so you're forced to listen to what comes out. My emotions are next to organs that I refuse to play, adjacent to certain phrases that I'm afraid to say. I'm so paranoid because it feels like I done lost my chances. You ask your questions and still I provide you with no answers. It seems like the only way to speak to you is through these stanzas. There are no feelings when I touch you now. I throw my hands up. I know you fed up with all the time that you feel you wasted. If I could take it all back right now, I would just replace it. So now I'm staring into mirrors trying to face my problems, drown my worries beneath the bottom of an empty bottle. See, it's not the lick, it's my pride that I refuse to swallow, trying to fill what is dark and empty. Now that's a hollow. I wish I could give you back some of the time my life done borrowed. No leather couch can cushion the hard tale of the sorrows. See, I've been hurting alone. No casting in these bones. See, I've been bent before, but yet we never broke. We stay whole. I never meant for you to fall in. No quid pro quo. Fuck them chips, girl. You was all in. See, I was present and absent. That took some talent, and somewhere along the line, I lost my balance. It must have been the yak up in my chalice. The challenge is trying to manage without you. It's been hard on hard trying to move on without you. That karma came back so fast. At last, that ass got checked. No cash, no gas. I crashed. How do I get a pass? I'm trying to move on. You got me confusing all forms, but this the kind of song my heart form. When the beat's on, the beat's gone. Now I'm gone. Yeah.
One more time for our phenomenal poets of the week, man.
Are you guys liking the show?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, then if you do, you already know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
For more. First of all, man, last of all, best of all. Major shout out to the Everybodies Network, content for the people. My name is Ivan Gaskin. This is the beautiful, the wonderful College and A. Lacey. Man, we love y'all. Until next time, speak up. We'll see y'all next week.